Hello, my name is Meg. Whether it's gifted collaborations or paid brand deals, never let brands do this to you. They won't let you disclose. First of all, it's against the law, but it does actually happen a lot. There are brands that ask you not to disclose because apparently hashtag PR and hashtag ad is not exactly pretty. Some brands will tell you that consumers get upset when they see PR posts and ad posts, and they will also say that posts with disclosure doesn't perform well. No. People get upset because it's not disclosed. Yes, sometimes PR and ad posts don't perform well because promotions are sometimes not seen as genuine, but that is not a reason not to disclose. Also, you don't want to mislead your followers or hurt your reputation, so when a brand asks you not to disclose, just don't work with them. Never let them control you. They can tell you what type of content they want, like an Instagram post or a YouTube video, as long as you agree to it beforehand and they don't change it midway. However, when they give you exact instructions on how to make the content or what to write in the caption, that is a big red flag. Some brands do ask you to hold the product in your hand next to your face and ask you to smile. Sometimes they will give you a brief and ask you to copy and paste that in your captions, and sadly, some people actually do that. That's why a lot of PR and ad posts look exactly the same. The way they've taken it, the angle, the opening of the caption, the order the hashtags are in, they're all the same. There's no originality. If you're not allowed to use your own creativeness or words, you're just being a spokesperson for that brand, and it just doesn't sound genuine. And your followers can tell that it's not genuine. If your account is about makeup or skincare and you've never posted about diet vitamins, not even on your stories, but all of a sudden you say it's the best you've tried and it's an ad. When you never say hi babes, but all of a sudden you put that in your caption with a bunch of emojis that you normally never use, expect to get called out or lose followers. Of course, brands can ask for things like please don't speak badly of a competitive brand or product, or please don't feature and tag other brands. That's acceptable. But if they tell you exactly what to do, first of all, know that it doesn't have to be you, so you might want to walk the other way. And second, there is no value in that post for your followers. Always think of your followers first and don't waste their time. Another issue I see are deadlines. Brands may ask you to post on a specific date. For example, it's a new product and the release date is the 2nd of October. So in order to hype it up, they want you to post the night before or on the day of the release. That I can understand, providing you were sent that product way ahead of time. The issue I have is when they try to make you to post after X amount of days after receiving it. Now, PR these days are slightly different. You do have to post about it, especially when you're a small creator. But when brands want you to post about it 3 days after receiving the product, that's a big no. When they don't give you enough time to actually use the product, again, it doesn't have to be you. You were just one out of the 100 creators they DM'd with a copy and paste message. Sorry, but they're not really after your content. They don't actually love your content like they say they do. They don't think you're an awesome creator. They just know that you would promote it and they're counting on that. It's your Instagram account, so make sure there's you in every single post. They don't send you the product. Some brands are really shady. They want to save money and they want you to promote something you've never tried. If you want to become a legit influencer, please don't do that. Only feature things that you have actually tried. Even if you're just casually talking about it, people will think that you're recommending it, so be careful. Never promote something you've never tried. Exclusivity. Some brands will ask you to be exclusive to them. For example, you are promoting a mascara and the brand doesn't want you to talk about other mascaras for 6 months. If you're trying to become an influencer and you're posting about makeup reviews, if you say yes to that, you can't do your job and you won't be able to grow. So basically, never say yes. Usage. They want to use your content everywhere for all eternity. Some brands will state that on first contact, but they will be really vague, like, can we have the permission to reuse this content? And personally, I don't like that, but if you're okay with that, fine. Just make sure you know exactly where and for how long. For example, because you're posting about them on Instagram, you might think that usage would just mean a repost on Instagram. But brands could use your content on other social media platforms, their website, or physically print out your content and use it as an ad for years, and you won't get compensated for that. If you don't want that to happen, especially if they're not paying you, read the terms of agreement word for word, and if it doesn't state where they plan to use the content and for how long, just ask them. Make sure to have it in writing. Which ties to the next way brands try to take advantage. They avoid putting it in writing. Instagram DMs are popular for brands to use, and one reason out of many is because you can unsend messages. If your only contact is Instagram DMs, basically you're asking yourself for trouble. Maybe they said they would pay you X amount on X date, but they don't, so you try to follow up. However, there are shady brands that unsend messages and will say, "We never agreed to a payment." It's happened to me before, and I've seen it happen to so many creators so many times. My tip is to ask them to send an email with the full details, and always screenshot and screen record everything like crazy. You will use a lot of memory on your phone, and it does feel sad sometimes, but better to be safe than sorry. They won't pay you. I did a video on whether or not you should post for free, which I will link. Basically, if they expect you to post for absolutely free on Instagram, in feed, stories, reels, IGTVs, and also on YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok, and they want all rights to use it on their platform forever, that is asking for way too much. Think of the time and effort you put into your content. It's not a 1-second job. The brand doesn't have to pay a professional photographer or a stylist or a makeup artist or an art director or a copywriter because you're doing everything for them. They are saving so much money, and yet they can't pay you. Now that's what I call taking advantage. And if you let them, you're just making things hard for yourself. Even if you are a small creator, nobody has the right to take advantage of you. But brands will try to, and you have to protect yourself. No one will do that for you. If you don't know if brands are trying to take advantage of you, leave a comment down below or send me a DM on Instagram and I would be happy to help. Oh, and here's that video about whether or not you should work for free as an influencer, together with another video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.